The Central Academy's hunting simulation. Chamber hummed with anticipation as Professor Vexthal adjusted his optical sensors. 20 cycles of teaching had made him confident in one universal truth. Humans were terrible hunters. Slow, fragile, lacking proper claws or venom sacs, they were nature's cosmic joke wrapped in soft skin. Today's exercise is straightforward. Vexthal announced, his mandibles clicking with barely concealed amusement. Survive 12 hours in the Karathian wilderness simulation. Track, capture, or evade 3 apex predators. Most species manage to hide successfully. The Bryn typically catch one if they're lucky. His gaze settled on Maya Tors, the only human in advanced survival tactics. She sat perfectly still, dark eyes tracking his every movement with unsettling focus. Something about her reminded him of the blood-fanged serpents from his home world. All coiled patience before the strike. Ms. Tors, perhaps you'd prefer the standard course, the one designed for, shall we say, less physically specialized species. Maya's smile didn't reach those predator eyes. I'm good here, Professor. Vexthal's 3 hearts would have sighed. If such anatomy permitted, humans and their ridiculous pride. He'd pulled too many of them from simulations, screaming and broken, to find it charming anymore. But regulations demanded he let her try. Very well, begin. The simulation activated, and Maya vanished into digital wilderness, rendered so precisely that even Vexthal sometimes forgot it wasn't real. Karoth 3, a death world where everything evolved to kill everything else. The perfect testing ground. He settled into his observation throne, prepared for the inevitable rescue operation. The monitoring screen showed Maya's vital signs, steady as a ship in dock. Too steady. Humans usually panicked within minutes. Hour 1 passed. Maya had constructed a shelter using techniques Vexthal didn't recognize. Not standard galactic survival manual methods, something older, stranger. Hour 3. She tracked the first apex predator. Razor gorilla weighing 400 kg of murderous muscle and bone blades. Most students ran from these things. Maya was following it. On purpose. What is she doing? Corex, Vexthal's teaching assistant, leaned over the display, his crystalline features reflecting confusion. Being human, Vexthal muttered, which means being stupid. Hour 5. Maya had stopped moving. The razor gorilla was circling, those terrible arm blades scraping trees, marking territory, standard intimidation. Display, any rational being would retreat. Maya stood her ground, then she did something that made Vexthal's 3 hearts skip synchronized beats. She howled, not a scream of terror, but a challenge, raw and primal, a sound that bypassed logic and spoke directly to the ancient prey parts of his brain. The razor gorilla hesitated. Just for a moment. That's all Maya needed. She moved like liquid violence, rolling under the first strike, coming up with a sharpened branch she'd apparently prepared hours ago. The simulation's sensory feedback was extraordinary. They'd spared no expense on realism, and Vexthal could almost feel the impact as Maya drove that makeshift spear into the creature's shoulder joint. The razor gorilla roared, swinging wildly. Maya was already gone, flowing around. Its attacks like water around stone. Another strike, this time to the leg. Then the neck. 3 minutes later, The apex predator lay still and Maya stood over it, breathing hard but steady, that unsettling smile whiter now. Impossible, Carrick's whispered. The simulation must be malfunctioning. Run diagnostics, Vexthal ordered, but he already knew what they'd find. Nothing wrong with the simulation. Everything wrong with their assumptions. About humans. Hour 7. Maya had fashioned tools from the razor. Gorilla's body. Bone blades, sinew rope, hide for better. Camouflage. She moved through the digital forest, like she'd been born there, reading signs Vexthal himself might have missed. The second apex predator was a phantom. Stalker and ambush predator that could bend light around itself, becoming nearly invisible. It had killed more students in simulation than any other creature in the database. Maya found it anyway. Or rather, she let it think it found. Sorry. Vexthal watched, mandibles hanging open. As Maya set a trap so elegant it might have made him weep if a species had tear ducts. She positioned herself in a clearing, apparently vulnerable, and waited. The phantom stalker approached, shimmer in the air. Watch the full video on my Spotify channel. Click the link in the description below. And GT.